Okay, friends, coming back at you with another live stream. It's your buddy Tim. We were just talking about the American Village today, but we're going to continue on to the big hot topic that is the grain deal. Oh, my goodness. So with the grain deal, what's going on with that? We're also going to take all sorts of questions that were posed by people today when I posted up the message that we're going to do a live stream, because there were a few questions here, but the big deal was the grain thing. So the first thing we have to get out of the way, excuse me. Well, one thing I can tell you about Russia that's nice is we get these nice imported pomegranates. Why aren't those in America? Maybe they are now, but when I was a kid, I never had one. They're absolutely delicious. But anyways, with the grain deal, so what's going on with this? Apparently the Russian side says that this has no connection to the Crimean Bridge, the second attack on it, that this doesn't matter, that they're just the grain deal essentially sort of the end date came up, and so it just sort of ended on its own. Is that true or not? Who knows? I didn't look at the deal myself. I think very few people did, but I think that that's a very believable story. But so why is this such a big deal? Because the Russian side accuses the Ukrainians of essentially using this freedom to have ships come and leave harbor. You know, officially it was to send the grain excess from Ukraine to all the poor, starving people that the wealthier elites pretend to care about. But of course, the Russians believe that there's something nefarious, that on these boats, there's not just grain, or maybe there's no grain at all, but there's probably all sorts of weapons and other goodies, and Zelensky's coke stash, and all that stuff. So that's kind of, I think the big breakdown on this is it sort of seems to be fake, and the West was, interestingly enough, willing to offer, or at least this is an offer, but the West offers a lot of stuff, but then doesn't do it. If you've noticed, there's definitely, when it comes to Russia, it's like, well, we'll do all this bad stuff to you. We'll do 10 bad things, but we'll offer to do one nice thing for you, so you sort of submit. And this is another one. It's like, well, maybe we'll let one of your banks rejoin SWIFT if you allow us to keep completely supplying the Ukrainian military via the sea. Like, that is not a hot offer. That is not a very good offer. And I think the West is not even ready to do that, because they know that if Russia makes it even easier for them to export their food, Russia has really come on the stage to, looking at a mosquito here. Is it coming right for me? Are you coming for me? No? Later. But anyways, that Russia's really become the world's, one of the world's biggest food exporters, which is very ironic, and is definitely an argument against communism. Remember all those years? Well, maybe you guys don't remember personally. I don't remember personally, but all those years under communism where, during the 1930s, they certainly didn't have enough food. Well, World War II happened. You couldn't really blame communism for things being tough with food. But then even after that, like with Soviet stores and stuff, a lot of times they just kind of had like the same old stuff and the same minimum amount of stuff you need to get by. And all of a sudden we go over to capitalism, or whatever we want to call today's system. And there's now, Russia's a massive food exporting powerhouse. So again, friends, one thing about studying Russia is I'm always dismayed when I hear Western people, especially like young people, talking about communism, and then you hear some like old sort of boomer generation guy being like, you don't understand the horrors of communism. And it's an amazing conversation, because both sides don't know anything. Because really, the study of the collapse of communism in Russia, I think, has really provided a really strong, really strong arguments that the, let's just say, the capitalist flavored side of things is much better. Obviously, when we get into the game of word definition, someone could say, well, there's so much government involvement in Russia and in the West and everywhere that we don't really have true capitalism. Yeah, kind of. But that's whatever we call the sort of system that we have that isn't the Soviet system, works a lot better. So I wish people would take that into account. If all those old boomers could open their minds and just admit that and tell these young people, like, they're like, look, this is what Russia was like in 1990. And even in 2010, this is what Russia was like. Not even now. It's like, which lifestyle do you want to live? Yeah. But anyways, so with this grain deal, what's the future of this going to look like? I think that the future is going to be a stalemate. No one in the West is going to put Russia sort of kind of back on SWIFT, even if they want to resupply the Ukrainians or something. I don't think that they're going to do that. And I think that Russia is already backdoor selling all of their materials in such a brilliant and effective way that it doesn't matter. So ultimately, with this grain deal, unfortunately, this is one of these problems. If you make a video online about something and you say ultimately it doesn't matter, then it's like, well, why'd you make the video? Well, it's because people are making a big deal out of this thing. And I think ultimately it doesn't really matter too much, because can the West continue to supply the Kiev regime? Yes, without the grain deal. Again, this is supposing that the Russian version of history is true. If the Russian history is a lie, it kind of puts maybe certain African countries who might want that grain in a little bit of a sad position. So if the Russians are wrong, then it kind of has sort of an effect on certain African countries. But then again, most of those African countries would just buy grain from Russia anyways and not care. So you got to think about it that way. But anyways, so if the Russian version of events is true, then it really doesn't matter, because the West will continue to supply Kiev, and Russia will continue to export things despite sanctions, as they've been doing since the very beginning of the war. So there you go on the grain deal. Now, there were a bunch of other questions here we wanted to talk about. Let's see. This one is definitely not political. Popular hobbies and activities Russians do. This is the amazing results of having medium to mild dyslexia. You get to read all sorts of fun things that you make up in your mind. But anyways, this is obviously not a political question, so I kind of wanted to keep this video political. So let's just say fishing is surprisingly popular. People will pay large sums of money to fly all the way from Moscow to Magadan, 8 hours, just because the fishing there is good. Fishing is way more popular than it should be anywhere. So I would say that. If you want to look outside, there is a pretty much a little soccer field for kids everywhere. Soccer is a very popular activity for the younger boys. I'm trying to think hobbies that are really common. Gardening. Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh, the gardening. I am the only loser who has a lawn. Gardening is super popular. Boy, go to the gardening section at a hardware store here in Russia. A lot of women. It's amazing. It's like if you go to the Lewa Malan or the Petrovich, you can hear the difference. Lewa Malan or Petrovich. So if you go, but I don't even know if Petrovich has a gardening section, because it is so Russian, it is sexist. No vagina in construction store. It pollute everything. No, go outside. So I don't think they have a gardening section. But at Leroy, they definitely do. And it's such a gender divide. It's crazy. It's like you go over to a border into this women's zone. You know what I mean? Because they have like the special gardening section. And all of a sudden the genders are reversed. It's amazing. So the number one hobby for women in Russia is probably gardening. Like, there's so many women who do gardening here. Yeah. So I think that's kind of it. Yeah. Of like the really super ultra popular big stuff. Maybe ice skating, but not just hockey, but I mean like in general ice skating is pretty popular here. As is what's it's called? Cross country skiing is also very popular, but not compared to Scandinavia. I've seen videos in Finland where like everyone does it. I wouldn't say everyone here does it, but a lot of people do. Way more than you would think. So, let's see. Another question from Abibas. Can residents buy gold in Russia, or is it limited to only citizens? Only citizens, my friend. That's why I offered the Kirby Gold program. Because if I ain't getting it for you, you ain't getting it. So, it's just that simple. Well, until you get citizenship many years later. Someone mentioned about hobbies, drinking. Well, here, drinking alcohol until they can't walk straight and try to commit insurance fraud might just be my neighbors, though. I don't know, man. If you were here back in the old days, you'd know just how few people here drink compared to the way things were. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, drinking kind of is a hobby, and they sell hard liquor at every major grocery store that you'll find, except in the really Islamic areas where they only sell beer. So there you go. Insurance fraud. Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of con artists. That's true. But anyways, Ben, the fact that you now one thing I have to mention that I asked someone asked a question about what people's hobbies are, and let's read Ben's answer, because his answer is extremely Russian. The answer: drink alcohol until they can't walk straight and try to commit insurance fraud. Might just be my neighbors, though. Ben, you've truly assimilated into Russia, because that is the most Russian answer, because it shits on the country. It's extremely negative. It makes the person who asked the question regret being born. You are truly Russian, my friend. You have done it. You have assimilated Russian culture. Полностью, блядь. Anyways, let's see. Dear Tim, promoting rt.com/Russia eugenics praxis. The N-words wouldn't take the COVID jab, but we'll get him this time. Bill Gates. Oh boy, let's see about this. Okay. Oh boy, this does look. Although the way the person chose to phrase this might be something we should be talking about here on the channel, because in fact, guys, I think I really need to start instead of doing those hot take videos and these live streams. I think I just need to do more live streams and do them in a more organized way. But anyways, that's maybe next month I'll start that. Fresh month, fresh strategy. So anyways, let's see. As I'm looking over at my other monitor here. So it says, the first ever malaria vaccine set to roll out in Africa. Oh, no. At least 28 countries on the continent expressed interest in receiving the Muskerix. Boy, who knows how they could possibly pronounce this word. Muskerix malaria serum. World Health Organization. Oh, no. The world's first malaria vaccine will soon be rolled out in Africa. The 12 countries across the continent expect to receive 18 million doses over the next 2 years. And I'm curious, are all those countries part of the French domain, where the French really, really can still kind of put the bayonet into them? Oh, man. Oh, no. 9 more countries: Benin, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cameroon, Democratic Republic, Liberia, Niger, Sierra. Well, Uganda's not. Liberia's not. Well, so that is kind of a spread. A little bit of a geographic spread there. 9 more countries for the first time. Okay. Oh, no. At least 28 African countries have expressed interest in receiving the malaria vaccine. Oh, don't do it, guys. No. And also, who expressed interest? Who expressed interest? Some sort of Dr. Fauci, or what's his name in Russia, the Russian equivalent, who doesn't actually have a position in the government, but somehow they sort of activated him at the beginning of COVID. Greensburg, whatever. These sort of World Health Organization advocates. Is that who's asking? Is that who's inquiring? Because I have a strong feeling it's not the average African person. Or they're more nationalistically oriented leaders. Yes. So at least 28 African countries have expressed interest in receiving the malaria vaccine, which is proven to be safe and effective, according to the agency's statements. Oh, boy. Kate O'Brien. What an African name that is. The World Health Organization Director of Immunization. Why I mention her name, because I'm sure she's invested in really cares for the Africans. Director of Immunization said the high demand for the vaccine and the strong reach of child immunization will increase equity and access to malaria. Yes, it's for equity. Oh, okay. Fantastic. It'll make you more kind of sort of equal. Vax up impoverished Africans. Woo! Yeah, baby. Vax up for equality. Because, boy, you know when you read something like this, where that logic is so woke that it makes no sense. I mean, it kind of makes, I guess you could say that, like, well, previously no one could afford the vaccines and this is cheaper. Trust me, if the governments there really wanted to buy some sort of medicine, they could have. This is ridiculous. It makes no sense. It makes no sense after you peruse it and sort of think about it. The first doses of the vaccine are expected to arrive in the designated countries during the last quarter of this year, where they will begin rolling out by early 2024. Remember, guys, how we kept hearing about the African population bomb as being the last sort of part of the planet where there could be an explosive growth in population? Remember that? You think Bill Gates liked that news? You think Bill Gates has any appreciation for life down there and these other people? No. Ghanaian, is that how it would be pronounced? We have Ghanaian MPs back together, back tougher anti-gay legislation. Wow. So there you go. So we have an interesting. Now, when we have this anti-gay legislation talk, we have specific Ghanaian MPs putting their name down on it. But when we have people who are supposedly supporting this vaccination movement, they're just sort of like these countries, and it's just someone there is just supporting it. Someone, who knows? The World Health Organization has designated malaria as one of the deadliest diseases in Africa. Well, that could be true. That could be. We're getting into a small bit of truth zone. Saying it killed nearly 500,000 children under the age of 5 in 2021 alone. I'm not sure about that, but malaria is rough. The continent accounted for about 95% of global malaria cases and 96% of malaria deaths that year, the health agency added. But remember, because malaria is transferred from bugs, and say you live in a country where they don't have malaria-carrying bugs, well, it's kind of one of those regional things, you know what I mean? The RTS-S vaccine, interesting, a comma, not a period, developed by the British multinational pharmaceutical company GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, right? Oh, GSK. Oh, I'm sure they're just so pumped to help poor African people rise up to equity or equality or whatever E word they're using. Is the first drug recommended for the use to prevent malaria in children in areas of moderate high transmission diseases. Oh, okay. I don't know. Is this even going to work? Can we listen? Can you guys even hear this? Are we? So who is this guy? Who is this? Who is this? World Health Organization. Tedros Ghebreyesus, World Health Organization. Wow, that is a. Although I do like his name, that is the name of like one of the god characters in some video game. You must address Ghebreyesus. Yeah, shown over the process of 6 months. Oh, boy. Okay, well, this is really depressing. So I'd like to thank you for sharing this. This was very relevant and very depressing. All right. How do I get rid of it? Baby, it's all right, young American. So anyways, that is gone. That was an interesting topic for today, and that was a very depressing one. In fact, let's share this. I'm going to say, don't do it, Africa. There we go. Shared it to the main channel. Don't do it, Africa. Don't. No. But anyways, let's go back to finding the post where everyone left all their questions. Okay, this is getting complicated. All right, so that we basically did all those questions. This is amazing. Let's go down and actually look here. So, oh my gosh, Christopher Barrett actually has the Russian course book. Oh, we're sharing that. Look on the main page, Tim Kirby Russia Hardcore Russian course, a complete course for beginners with a photograph from like 1993 that's completely outdated. It's amazing. Amazing. Just like all the information about Russia. We liked it in the 90s. That's what we're going to write about. But that is an amazing language book that's written very well. You'll get the jab and be happy. Of course. Of course. I'm going to build a brick house just in case. You can, man. Tim, have you considered building Canadian-style wood houses? This is kind of back to our first topic, but essentially, yes, that's what I meant by stick frame. That is... Okay, looks like we got nothing going on. All right, we kind of blew through that, although that article about these African vaccines is terrifying and interesting, which many things are. So anyways, if anyone has any questions, raise your hand. If you're going to have something to say here, to leave as a comment, in fact, I see someone's typing right now, then leave some comments. We'll answer those. I thought I had more questions than that. But I think we covered the grain deal. I think we also sort of covered the fact that, I shouldn't say, remember, sometimes I just talked about something like it's a fact. Remember, the theory that there's going to be a population bomb in Africa and the fact that they're trying to go pump them with some sort of medications there, that's a line I'm drawing in my head. None of these super New World Order clowns have come out and specifically said anything like that that I know of, but that's a gut instinct. That's not a factual statement. I should be more careful. Well, hurry up and get done typing, as people are typing messages, and we need to get going. We need to keep on. So anyways, if you want to raise your hand, raise your hand. Anyways, let's see what else is in the Russian news, because there's always news on our channel while people are trying to comment. Let's see, what else was there? Oh, yeah, and also, I forgot to mention about Erdogan with the grain deal. Yeah, I just posted this, but I didn't mention it, that Erdogan, this is hilarious. Okay, where's the really funny part? Hold on. Erdogan added that Ankara had made efforts to save the grain deal until the last moment. The Turkish foreign minister will soon discuss the issue with his Russian counterpart. That's not funny. Erdogan said he will also shortly hold talks with the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, who he called his friend and who he said wants to see the grain corridor functioning. Boy, that NATO conference kind of was, is the NATO conference over? I think it's already over. Or it wound down anyways. NATO conference either winding down or is over. A lot of these conferences take like 5 days. It's Monday. It's probably over. So NATO conference over. Immediately Erdogan is now like, oh, Putin, we are friends. We see eye to eye on stuff. This is amazing. Let me go see my best friend, Putin. The watermelon seller in true form. Brilliant. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So anyways, Ben has a pomegranate. Look at that. So yeah, John just posted here a mosquito, a link to where you can buy Russian Course by Penguin, one of the 2 books that taught me how to speak Russian well. So if you want to be able to learn to speak Russian well enough to work on the morning zoo, then this is the route for you, which kind of rhymes. What is Russian trucking like? I'm a truck driver in the United States. You'll make way less money. To be honest, I only really met one person who did trucking, and he had his own truck. The only difference is that buying a Kamaz truck is way cheaper. So he invested at the time, like he took out a loan for, I think it was like $50,000 or $60,000 for a truck. You know what I mean? So that's a lot less, but I don't know. People say it goes good. I'll put it this way. I don't even know what they used to cost. Hold on. Let's see. JCB excavator. Pete. Oh boy, how much is a used X? Oh man. Well, see, if you think about it, so to buy a used JCB excavator is like 11 million rubles. Well, there's one for 5. That's more heavily used. Let's go to the 5 million to do excavating. So you buy a used one for 5 million rubles. I got my calculator. Okay, so we have 5 million rubles. In fact, why don't we just move this over here so you guys have something to actually look at while I'm fiddling around. Fiddling around. Share screen. There we go. Can we do the one where it's like both? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's amazing. So anyways, we have 5 million rubles for that lovely JCB excavator. It costs, we have to divide it by 20,000 rubles for one 8-hour shift. That's 250 shifts to pay it off. I don't know. Is that good or bad? You tell me, man. 250 working shifts just to pay off the cost of that JCB. I see someone has their hand raised. We'll get to you real soon. Let's go maybe to like a loan calculator. Loan calculator. Loan calculator. Loan amount. It's in dollars. Let's change that to 5 million rubles here. We have, So I have one. That's 500,000. 5 million. Loan term, 15 years. Interest rate, 7. So let's see. Boom, roughly speaking. So you'd have to pay 44,000 rubles a month of the actual loan if you're going to pay it off over 15 years. That ain't bad. What if you pay it off over 10 years? 58? That's 3 work shifts a month to pay off the loan on it over 10 years. You put in, so you work 1 week, you could do double payments, pay that thing off in 5 years. That's not so bad. I guess if you take out a loan, but that's for a JCB. Because the thing is, I know how much a shift of a JCB worker is. I don't know what it is for a trucker. So there you go. Okay, we'll go back now. Go back. Oh. But again, the new JCB costs like 11 million. So you'd be doing twice as much in terms of payments, or maybe more with the way loans work. Hello, Sam. You're back on the program. You are with us. Hello. But are you back on the program is the question.
Hey, can you hear me?
There we are. Yep. Yes, I do.
Hey, so I went to a watchsmith at the town center here and asked him about the Vostok watches.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he said his eyes got big, and he said they always work. He's never had one that didn't work. And this guy's ancient. He's like been doing it for 40, 50 years. But he says that they are very, very roughly made.
Yeah. Well, they're tested. They're officially listed as being 200 meters waterproof, but a video on YouTube proves it took 800 meters of water pressure, which I think is enough to kill you. Like you crush your rib cage to actually break the watch. So, yeah, they're really resilient. I don't really have to take much care of mine, man. I love it. My only one regret is with the whole now American Village thing. Guess where all my extra money goes? I would love to actually increase my watch collection, but yeah, unfortunately, I am not really in the zone to be able to buy more watches. Although I absolutely love my main Vostok watch. I do want to buy more, especially Sam. In fact, I'm going to mute you. We're going to take a look. Why not? Because I don't know. I sometimes don't even understand what the hell I'm doing with this channel. But you know what? Who cares? As long as I'm having fun, this should be interesting for someone. Vostok, just see. Something like that. The problem is I'm never really sure what's their actual official website. Let's see. This website is not good for managing. That's not the one I wanted. Maybe, alltime.ru. Let's see. Brand. Hold on. We'll get there. Hold on. There. Okay, we got Vostok. Yeah. All right. So how do we set this? Hold on, guys. You probably want to see what I'm doing here. Hold on. Let's share the screen. So now we have to somehow figure out how to get this thing by there we go. There we go. All right, so we're looking at some of the more. Why would that one cost 10,000? That's so basic. I don't know. Can you guys seeing this? The problem is I really need to readjust things in this room so I can sit more comfortably. Ooh, this one in the middle. I haven't even seen this one yet. The all black. Oh my god! I should the Armani watch I have. I should replace it with this. This is nicer than the Armani I have. Oh my goodness! Look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. 30% off. Oh, this one's also looking good. I like the band, that fat band, like the super fat middle. Oh my goodness, gorgeous. So no leather bands. That is trash. Is this it? That's all they've got? They've got what is this garbage? All right, then we'll go back in time here and we'll go back to the beginning and we'll just go to the site that's terrible. So anyways, what do we have here? We have Amphibia, we have the Commandeersky. Oh man, couldn't they just have men's? Oh well. Yeah, what a wonderful site, huh? Man, it's so frustrating when things are so poorly laid out. But yeah, it's like 10,000 rubles. That's like nothing in dollars recently. Oh, that's a nice face. That's a nice face on the watch. But the strap is terrible. Oh, they're different divisions of the military. Anyways, let's go back to the Amphibia ones and try to see what the most expensive are. No cheap watches. Oh, wait. We can do from Ubivanio. Yes. So this is the most expensive. Oh, the Orange Neptune Pro. Bro, you want to have this is. Oh, that's not the Neptune. Oh, that's just the normal orange day date. The normal, okay, or just date. Excuse me. There is no day. All right, well, whatever. I thought that was the Orange Neptune. The Orange Neptune is fly. Man, why are all this? Why does this site suck so much? This is terrible. All right, guys. I know some of you are not watch fans, so I'm going to try to get one more site here that actually is kind of relevant. Because this is terrible. I can't even see what's on my own screen. Ridiculous. Shop Vostok, maybe this one. Oh, this is the nice one. Yeah, what's new? Is there just something that's like new? Sure, we'll go to the catalog. Boom, let's do it. Collect, yeah, I don't know. Let's just go for the stuff that's more. Oh, wow, there's some stuff that's crazy expensive now. Okay, let's get rid of the cheap stuff. Is that the new Amphibia? Oh, cream. Oh, look at that. The cream. Loving the cream. White is disgusting. Got to go cream. Oh, so many good options. But unfortunately, let's just put the Amphibia watches up here because those are probably the nicest ones. Not digging this loopy thing. That's bullshit. No loops. So something else. Again, sort of racing inspired. Racing sucks. Here we go. Oh yeah, the Orange Neptune. Woo! Loving the Orange Neptune. This thing looks amazing in real life. With that nice texture. It's almost like a Patek Philippe with that like texture on it. Oh, that'd be fantastic. But anyways, watch time is now officially over. I think you guys got it. These watches are great. And look at those prices. Look at those prices for something that from across the room kind of gives you the vibes, or well, not the outer bezel, but like the actual face, the dial gives you like Patek Philippe vibes. That's 12,000, and it won't break under like any circumstances, and it costs 12,000 rubles. Like, come on. Let's not be ridiculous here. That's what they call affordable luxury. It's amazing. Anyways, let's see. Do we have any other questions? No one has their hand raised. They think there were questions. Keep the stream political. I gave up, Ben. I gave up. I need to enjoy this. Because the thing is, if I'm not having fun, then no one is. You know? So yeah. But anyways, speaking of no one having fun, it looks like we are all done for today. I'll try to get these, I guess, uploaded maybe tomorrow after I go through the final contracts that were reviewed by the legal team there for the land transfer for the American Village. We'll do that, and then maybe after that I'll try to upload one of these. So anyways, guys, it was great talking to you. It's Young Kirby signing out. Oh, bye.